process?
Well, we really get to know these guys the first week of life. We will go in with the mothers, make sure that she's very comfortable, and then we'll pick up each little pup individually and we'll blow across their noses. Now, what this does is it gets them used to a human. It gets them used to our scent. Because for the first 9 to 10 days of their life, their eyes aren't open yet, so they're really dependent on that sense of smell to get used to us. And then you can see by the time they're this age and they're running around a little bit, they already know and trust us. It's what my mom would call the trust and be trusted relationship, which was so important to all the training that she did here. And then you can see by the time they're this age and they're running around a little bit, we like to bring them out here and say encourage them to jump over these logs. Now, about a week ago, it really challenging for them, so we would have to help the puppy, like Alex is doing here. Come on, Rob, good boy. You know, and once they're able to get over that log on their own, we praise them on the other side. Now, this teaches the puppies that we're never going to ask them to go any farther or faster than they're capable of, and of course, we're always going to be there for them when things get tough.
Yeah, well, and I mean, it wasn't long ago. Look at them go. Let's just vault right over that. I mean, they weren't anywhere close to that even just a week ago, and now they're looking at you like, hey, is this all you got? So you're going to have a gap to bridge between when they outgrow the yard and when they're big enough to put into harness. So what'll be the next step?
Well, what we've started to do is actually take them out on daily walks in the woods. Now, these guys, we want to introduce them to a lot of different environments. So we'll go on the trails around Trailbreaker, and we'll bring a couple of older dogs out with us as well. You know, these little guys, there are 3 pups in the litter, and we'll bring some of those gentle retired dogs along with us to help mentor the puppies. And it is so amazing to watch these guys build their confidence every single day. So we'll go out, we'll walk along rocks like this. Maybe we'll go through some brambles and branches, run through a patch of water, and the puppies watch the way that the older dogs confidently tackle these obstacles, and they follow suit. And when we come back to the yard, it is amazing to see how much more adventurous and determined and confident they are than when they left the yard. This is also a really great age to start teaching them their name. We want the dogs to have really good recall. We want them to know that when we call them, it means something and that they should listen for their voices later on in the team. And that will help out a lot when we start to hook them in, when we start to put them into harness for the first time, to have all these memories of running as a group when they were younger.
Yeah, well, of course, your voice is critical to how things work when you're out there on the trail. Now, how do you know? This is just no problem at all. That blows me away. I figured it'd take at least another few weeks. How do you know when the time is finally right for them to stop just running around on their own and actually pair up and become part of a team? Is that based on age, or are you looking at their weight? What's the key?
Well, it's about 6 to 8 months old that they can go into harness for the first time. That's when physically their bodies are ready for it. So we'll put that harness on, let them run around the yard a few times, and then eventually we'll just hook them up into the team with the older dogs. Like I said, those retirees who maybe aren't running in our fastest teams anymore are still so vitally important to the kennel because they are in charge of training the next generation. So we hook up 2 well-run adult lead dogs out in front of our team, then 4 to 6 of these freshly harnessed 8-month-old puppies behind them. And it's so instinctive for them to want to pull. All we really have to do is give the dogs the forward command, and then those puppies will pick up and start chasing them just like they did on the puppy walks. And within a couple minutes, it looks like we have a small adult team of dogs. In fact, my mom would sometimes say that it takes a minute to teach them to go, but a year to teach them to whoa. And you're really going to see that in action. We've got a team here. These are all the race dogs that I run in the wintertime. Oldest dog in this team is 8 years old. The youngest one is 2 years old. Now, these guys are going to be doing a mile loop around the lake. The first dogs that we hook up in the team are called lead dogs. You may have heard that term lead dog before because they're some of the most important in the kennel. They are in charge of steering our team. They're also in charge of setting the pace for the rest of the team. So we want to have dogs running up there that we really know and trust. We start looking for the characteristics of a lead dog when they're as young as those pups you saw a minute ago. You know, the puppy that is the first one to jump over the log, or the first to go down and explore the water. We know that they have the enthusiasm and the determination we're looking for from a dog running in the lead position. Now, in the back closest to the sled, you'll see the wheel dogs. Sometimes it's a bigger or burlier dog in this position simply because they're closer to the sled and therefore can feel more of the weight. But this isn't a sled today. In fact, it's a four-wheeler. We've taken out the engine on this guy and enhanced the brakes so that these dogs can continue to do what they love all year round.
Yeah, it's a shame they're not eager to get going. Look at this though, as soon as she pulls the trigger, everybody leans in, starts to pick up speed, and Tekla is gone. But keep looking to the left, in between the two cabins and out behind the dog pen, because she's going to just do a big U-turn and then come from our right to our left. And be sure to use the TV monitors if that's easier for you. You'll see the lead dogs setting the pace, as she said, all the other pairs falling behind, nice even spacing on that line. And all the rest of the dogs back here are just freaking out. Pick me, I want to go. But don't worry, because every dog exercises every day at Trailbreaker, which is why they're so healthy and why they live so long. Granite lived to be 17 and a half, even after that critical illness. He ran over 41,000 miles in his career. Now keep looking to the left still, in between those same two cabins, but focus on that trail way far away by the spruce trees.
And these dogs are really trying. It's so impressive that they can carry me and the four-wheeler. Together we weigh about 400 pounds and still be going at 20 miles per hour. Now, what I like to do during any training run is look at their tug line. That's the line that attaches the back of the harness to the four-wheeler. Looking up and down my team today, I can see that all of these dogs are working together and doing their job by the fact that all of their tug lines are nice and tight. It's a beautiful day to be out here on the trail. Definitely warmer than we're used to in the winter. In December and January, it is very common to be 20 degrees below zero. Now, overhead, I'm going to give my lead dog the left-hand command.
Okay, Haw command. And remember, this is all voice steering. There's no reins or lines, so you shout out what you want. G for right, Haw for left, hike or all right, gets them started. And then to stop them, you say whoa, and then you just kind of pray. Because they don't like that command very much. You're going to see when they get back. Stopping is not what they love. Now watch that same trail, the one farther away.
Well, the team made that turn beautifully, and now we're on the homeward stretch. That's when they really kick it into gear to get us home. Like any endurance athlete or marathon runner, the Alaskan Husky knows that they need to save some energy in reserve so that at the end of a race, they can pass competitors in front of them and keep those other competitors behind them. We're kicking up a lot of dust here. These girls are doing great, and they are excited to get back to the yard.
All right, good strategy. Nice crunchy air behind the four-wheeler. By the way, I couldn't help but notice we're kind of leaning to the left a little bit here. Which is fine, we're glad you're enjoying it. And this won't be the end of our experience with dogs, because Tekla and some of the crew are going to join us on shore in Chena Village, and they'll bring dogs with them. So you can meet some of these Alaskan Huskies right up close, maybe even pet them on the head. Get all your questions answered by people who know this sport very, very well. Watch behind